There has recently been a change related to college entrance exams in IDAPA rule. This section of rule can be found in 0802, 03, 105, and you can use this QR code to go to that section of code, and you can find it on page 14. Now, the reason for the change has to do with the fact that the Compass test used to be an acceptable college entrance exam, and that is no longer a test that is available to students. So hence the change. So a few things to keep in mind. There is a difference between college entrance exams and college placement exams. And so a question we often get is the AccuPlacer or the ALEX exam, are those sufficient enough to meet this requirement? Those exams are placement exams, which are different than college entrance exams. So when we talk about college entrance exams, we're talking about the SAT and the ACT. Now, there is an exemption in this that states that students with an active IEP may use an AccuPlacer placement exam to fulfill this requirement. And that way they can be on track to graduate. Now, a couple things to keep in mind is this exemption needs to be written into their IEP to make sure that they are on track to graduate. A couple of other exemptions to keep in mind. If a student qualifies for the ISAT-ALT, they need not take a college entrance exam. If they have been in an LEP program for less than 3 years, they are exempt. And lastly, if they are transferring in from out of state as a senior in high school that last semester, then they are also exempt from taking a college entrance exam. And then lastly, this section of code was added for school districts may appeal extenuating circumstances to the SDE. And when we say extenuating circumstances, we mean just that. We honestly expect maybe 5 to 10 of these a year from the entire state. So an example of an extenuating circumstance this year was a student who was a late graduate. He was 19 years old and not in juvenile detention, but actually in jail. So juvenile detention will go ahead and have an SAT day for their students, or will allow an exemption for a student to go and take the SAT. But this particular student was in jail and was 19 years old and unable to take the college entrance exam. Still completed all the coursework, still was on track to graduate and just missing that one piece. So that was an example of when the SDE went ahead and granted the appeal, accepted the appeal. So a couple of changes to keep in mind now. Melanie Jones from the SDE oversees this, and so if you have any questions about what any of these exemptions or changes are related to the entrance exams, go ahead and reach out to Melanie.